6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The World Bank commends the primary health system in Sri Lanka. The Ministry of Health says that daily coronavirus confirmations went past 600 mark for the second day. The Minister of Finance assures the shortage of cement will be resolved within the next 2 weeks. The National Building Research Organization issues landslide early warnings. Academic activities for the GCE ordinary level and advanced level grades will begin in all schools tomorrow. Trade Minister says plans are underway to provide 15 essential food items at a concessionary rate. News overseas, U.S. Secretary of State to reinvestigate about the Havana syndrome. And those are the headlines. The World Bank commends the primary health system in Sri Lanka. Sharing the progress, the World Bank's regional director and the manager training for Asia, Dr. Tina Huck, asserted the World Bank further commitment to promote the primary health system in Sri Lanka. A special group of World Bank envoys headed by Dr. Tina is now on an official visit to Sri Lanka. The envoys visited the Madaragama Primary Hospital yesterday. The hospital was fully developed under the Primary Hospital Development Scheme of the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health says daily coronavirus confirmations went past the 600 mark for the second day. The ministry says the home-based patients are also rising. The ministry warns the public to exercise more care and avoid large gatherings to avoid another lockdown. Sri Lanka health authorities identified new 628 COVID patients for the first time in 20 days and 617 on yesterday. Health officials say complaints were received about functions held without adhering to the health guidelines, and many other large gatherings may have helped the virus to spread again. Dr. Malkanthi Galhena of the Home-Based Treatment Center said the system has registered more than 1,000 patients within a week compared to the last 2 weeks of October. She said that there had been around 3,000 patients in the system during the last 2 weeks, but this week it has increased up to around 4,000 patients. Minister of Finance Basil Rajapaksa says the shortage of cement in the country will be resolved within the next 2 weeks. In a meeting with the representatives of the construction industry held today, it is reported the construction industry has been severely hampered due to the shortage of the cement. Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa said that 2 importers have been given the orders to import the cement and assured the government that the cement shortage will be minimized shortly. The imported cement will be released to the market after the 15th of this month. It is also reported that some cement companies sell a bag of cement for rupees 1,375 today. All the cement companies have also taken steps to increase the price after the government removed the control price of the cement last month. However, State Minister of Consumer Protection Lasantha Alegewana says the cement companies which had increased the price to 1,375 had promised to reduce the price by 100 rupees. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance. Like a father, like a mother.
Academic activities for the GCE ordinary level and advanced level grades will begin in all schools tomorrow. Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Professor Kapila Perera, says the decision was taken following the approval granted by the health authorities at a committee meeting held on October 30th. Accordingly, studies in grade 10, 11, 12 and 13 will commence on November 8, he said. However, the reopening of the grade 6 to 9 is still undecided. The National Building Research Organization, NBRO, today issued landslide early warnings for Badulla, Galle, Kaluthura, Kandy, Kegalle, Kurunegala, Matale and Ratnapura. The organization requests the people in those areas to be watchful on sudden appearance of water spouts, cracks on walls and on the soil, as these may be signs of impending landslides. Meanwhile, the Disaster Management Center reported 5 persons have died, 2 have been injured, and another person has been reported missing due to the prevailing inclement weather conditions in some parts of the country. The deaths have been reported from Tunukai, Elle, Pasara, and Puttalam areas, while 2 of the deaths have been caused by lightning strikes. That's local news.
Just as love and freedom are important to a child, so too is knowledge. Encouraging their pursuit of knowledge is our most important responsibility as parents.
Sri Lanka Insurance Minimuthu education plans ensure a secure future for your child with a higher education fund, comprehensive protection, and a range of additional covers. Minimuthu education plans for children who dare to dream. Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidamahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Trade Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says plans are underway to provide 15 essential food items at a concessionary rate. Accordingly, the consumers will be able to purchase these items calling the hotline 1998. I repeat, 1998, or from the Lanka Satos outlets. Minister said global food prices have hit the highest level in over a decade after rising by more than 30% in the last year. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization had also highlighted the soaring cost of the vegetable oils around the world. And that came to you in top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
This is Watchlight.
Thousands of Sri Lanka's northern fishermen are urging the government to make a final stance on the Indian trawler issue. They say the violation has damaged their fishing equipment and hindering their livelihood and also challenging post-war resettlement efforts in Sri Lanka. They also point out Indian fishermen practicing bottom trawling, a type of fishing net that's pulled along the seafloor. They said it is illegal technique to catch shrimp and bottom-dwelling fish. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, world news.
US Secretary of State to reinvestigate Indonesian Environment Minister criticizes the terms of global deal to end deforestation by 2030. Ethiopia's military is calling on veterans to rejoin the army as two aligned rebel groups threaten the capital. And those are the headlines of the world news. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has named 2 new officials to coordinate Washington's response to so-called Havana syndrome that have affected U.S. diplomats and officials overseas. U.S. personnel worldwide have recently reported more cases of symptoms related to Havana syndrome, such as headaches and dizziness. Years of investigation have not even clarified if the health situation should be considered attacks or an anomaly. Havana syndrome was first reported by United States and Canadian embassy staff in Havana, Cuba in 2016. Indonesia criticizes the terms of global deal to end the deforestation by 2030. Environment Minister Siti Nurbaya Bakar said the authorities could not promise what we can't do. She said forcing Indonesia to commit to zero deforestation by 2030 was clearly inappropriate and unfair. Despite President Joko Widodo signing the forest deal, she said development remained Indonesia's top priority. In a Facebook post, the Environment Minister argued the country's vast natural resources must be used for the benefit of its people. Ethiopia's military is calling on veterans to rejoin the army as 2 aligned rebel groups threaten the capital, marking the latest sign the government is marshalling its power to defend Addis Ababa. It comes as a new state of emergency allows the broad powers of arrest and conscription for Ethiopians over the age of 18. The move contrasts with government's public statements that coverage of the conflict. And that's world news.
Development news.
The Dutch Lanka Trailers emphasizes Hambantota International Port position as Sri Lanka's gateway port and flags a new era for local manufacturers in terms of cost-effective methods to reach their respective markets. Dutch Lanka Trailers, who usually ship their volumes on flatbeds via container vessels, opted to make its current shipment via a Ro-Ro carrier calling at Hambantota International Port. And that was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
The match between Afghanistan and New Zealand is now being played at Abu Dhabi Cricket Grounds. Afghanistan won the toss and elected to bat first. Accordingly, Afghanistan scored 124 for the loss of 8 wickets in 20 overs. In reply, New Zealand were 61 for 2 short while ago.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
NSB, the safest bank in the country, say it provides 100% government guarantee for the customers' deposits and interest thereon. The bank has been able to provide a wide range of innovative banking services for the Sri Lankans by connecting with many global markets through smart technology. In a statement, NSB said NSB serves the nation and backs the worthy cause of nation building by contributing to the general treasury by way of taxes, levies, fees and dividend, and funding long-term development projects implemented by the government. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Marine Environment Protection Authority, MEPA, have called for a renewed focus on conserving the rich coastal ecosystems in Sri Lanka, identifying the blue economy as key to the nation's sustainable development. It said Sri Lanka has a coastline of 1,340 kilometers, territorial waters spanning 21,500 square kilometers, and an exclusive economic zone of 517,000 square kilometers, and it is almost 8 times its land area. MEPA said that the coastal zone is home to most of the urban population and infrastructure as well as to the bountiful ecosystems that include mangrove forest. And that was economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning. With video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at times in western, Sabrikamo, central, northwestern and northern provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere, particularly during the afternoon or night. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning. With video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
Before we wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The World Bank commends the primary health system in Sri Lanka. The Ministry of Health says that daily coronavirus confirmations went past the 600 mark for the second day. The Minister of Finance assures the shortage of the cement will be resolved within the next 2 weeks. The National Building Research Organization, NBRO, receives landslide early warnings. Academic activities for the GCE ordinary level and advanced level grades will begin in all schools tomorrow. Trade Minister says plans are underway to provide 15 essential food items at a concessionary rate. With that, we conclude this evening news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.